Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and why am I not surprised that this generation's version of Saturday Night Live didn't have the guts to properly parody the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial? Now, I know for some of you, you're just offended that they even tackled this subject at all, but I gotta respectfully disagree because, look, I think we gotta find comedy in everything because life is too tragic. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to laugh at it. I respect that. But some of us do find comedy in this. I mean, there's just so much absurdity in this trial. There's so much absurdity in Amber Heard, and if I can't laugh at it from time to time, I'm just gonna get way too depressed, guys. And Saturday Night Live is a comedy show. Comedy show I legitimately respect. I love the history of Saturday Night Live. If you've never read this book, Live from New York, check it out. I mean, my God, going back, John Belushi, Steve Martin, Chevy Chase, Gilda Radner, all the way to Eddie Murphy and Joe Piscopo, to Will Ferrell, Tina Fey, Amy Poehler years, Bill Hader, Will Forte, I mean, Chris Farley, Adam Sandler. I could go on and on about my love of Saturday Night Live. And every generation has their version of Saturday Night Live that they love. And I think there have been so many versions throughout history that have really cleverly and smartly skewered pop culture and politics in a way that really everybody can laugh at it. When both sides can laugh at something and see something funny in it, that's when comedy really works. I think it's best. But I do feel like this version of Saturday Night Live is just so afraid to pick a side sometimes that's not the politically correct left side that they miss so many opportunities at humor and bringing us all together. In fact, the beginning of this sketch starts with a whole MSN parody with Kate McKinnon doing the same shtick she's done on every opener anchor character she does. I like Kate McKinnon, but my goodness, it's time to move on. You just do the same things over and over and over again. And then don't even get me started on this Kyle Mooney, Johnny Depp impression. Like, what is this?
I felt very, very sad.
I got to be careful playing my clips here because Saturday Night Live is very litigious, but this is news, this is commentary, this is fair use. I played a very short snippet there just to give you a sense of Johnny Depp's portrayal. And I like Kyle Mooney. I was a fan of Good Neighbor, his comedy sketch. I met him ages ago. He's such a funny guy. I do feel like Saturday Night Live has neutered him a bit. But my God, Kyle, what are you doing? This is such a poor imitation. And that's really the joke, that they hammered into the fact that he smirks all the time, which is from Amber's PR plan. He smirks all the time. He doesn't smirk all the time. He smirks at the lawyers on Amber's side because they're crazy. So you'd think Saturday Night Live's portrayal of Elaine and Rottenborn, well, that might make up for it, right? No, because they chose not to make jokes about them. They picked A.D. Bryan as some random lawyer, and then here's the Elaine.
My client is guilty of anything. That's true.
And they made her actually together. She's like the annoyed lawyer who's like, can't believe everything's crazy. How did you miss an opportunity to properly make fun of Elaine? Heidi Gardner, I know you have been following this. Like, you approved this sketch? What? This is where I'm frustrated because not only did they chose to disrespect Johnny at the end because no one in that writer's room had the guts to come out and accuse Amber. They instead did the Salacious stuff. They made a whole joke about the fact that, yeah, she pooped in the bed. Here's the footage they found with Kenan Thompson, who, talk about somebody who's stayed too long. But I like him, but my goodness, he finds the poop, and they do a whole joke, and then I don't even know her name, but she comes in and is like, oh yeah, ego, oh my God, the poop, can you believe it? And then they bring in the Spanish worker, and oh my God, I can't believe the poop. They do this whole long over poop joke of everyone's can't believe that she pooped in the bed. And to their credit, they all say Amber pooped the bed. So they did do that. They also, Kenan has the most guts in this sketch because even he's like, she cut off his finger. So I was like, all right, well, at least they're putting that out there, right? They're at least agreeing that Amber has done these atrocious things, right? But then the skit takes this weird turn because they seemingly are calling Amber crazy without ever showing her on the stand, mind you. No, there's no character on the stand. You got this non-judge Penny, played by Cecily, and then you got Heidi playing this normal version of Elaine, which super missed opportunity. And then you got Kyle Mooney as whoever this version of Johnny Depp is. And to make matters worse, after they've clearly owned the fact that she pooped the bed and cut the finger off, they do this weird thing at the end where the judge is like, well, look, it doesn't seem like this is the first time you've caused a woman to poop in your bed. Because you're a nightmare. I know it's so here it was at the end. I guess I think I've seen enough. The judge ultimately concludes this trial has given me a lot to consider. On one hand, I believe Mr. Depp's story, but on the other hand, your constant little smirk lets me know that this is not the first woman you've made so mad that she pooped in your bed. I guess I've been known to be a full nightmare, Depp says in response, putting on his shades, while the judge goes, right, okay, either way, I'm just so glad this ain't me. That was a joke that McKinnon makes in the beginning as well, where, again, Kate McKinnon's like, I know it's not the most pertinent story of the moment. It's a pretty pertinent story, Kate. Men don't get to be hurt a lot. It is a pretty pertinent story, don't you think? Or it's not because it's affecting you? It's not pertinent? Like, why is this the most pertinent story? It absolutely is a pertinent story. This is a very serious story. And again, I'm okay with you making light of it. I can tolerate that. But if you're going to make light of it, be honest. Pick a side and admit that no one in that writer's room of Saturday Night Live believed Amber Heard. And if you don't believe her, then she's right for parody just like everybody else. That's what's offensive about this skit. They were afraid to take on Amber. They'll say she pooped in a bed and cut off a finger and how crazy this whole thing is. And, oh, with all the problems in the world, isn't it nice to have a news story that we can all collectively watch and go, ooh, glad it ain't me? And let's focus on the poop in the bed. Ha, 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 ha. Guys, Johnny's a victim. And men aren't ever believed. It's the first time they are. And here's your first chance to call out a woman who we all collectively see as crazy and not being honest. You all, back me up in the comments. Do you believe for a second that this writer's room at Saturday Night Live wasn't all like, dude, she's crazy? Yeah, but then clearly someone or something at NBC or, I don't know, some of the right, Colin Jost, who is responsible for saying, yeah, well, let's not make fun of her. Let's be careful. We don't want to make fun of her in case, is what they did. And right there is proof of why it was not only disrespectful to Johnny, the way that they had to like twist it and still blame him at the end. Well, you're a nightmare. You must have made so many women poop in your bed. Says who? Says this one crazy person that you refuse to even poke fun at? I mean, Heidi Gardner, why weren't you up on the stand doing the dry crying and making fun of Amber? You could have done you would have been trending worldwide all over TikTok. It would have been massive, and I believe you could have done it so well. Why didn't you guys have the guts to go there? I mean, I'll tell you why, because Saturday Night Live is afraid to be non-politically correct. Because right now, everyone still has to believe Amber, right? In the eyes of the media, NBC, etc., they got to believe Amber because she's still the woman. We got to still believe the women. You know who doesn't feel that way? You know who's going against the curve? Mr. Chris Rock. Chris Rock's not afraid, and that's why Chris Rock is funny. Chris Rock's like, believe all women except Amber Heard. Here you got Saturday Night Live's own Chris Rock having the guts to step up and make his comments. Here was the comments he said during one of his, this was a show in London, where he talked about the new rules. Believe all women, except Amber Heard. What the F is she on? She S'd in his bed. She's fine, but she's not S'ing fine. She S'd in his bed. Once you S in someone's bed, you just guilty of everything. What the F is going on there? Wow. And they had a relationship after that? It must be amazing P. I've been with some crazy bees, but damn. That's funny. That's funny. And he's leaning into the fact of the reality of we can laugh at her. I'm sorry. I'm going to laugh at her because she's making a joke to victims everywhere. And that's what's we got to laugh at the reality and be honest. Like Chris is, because the best humor is going to come from honesty. And Saturday Night Live, this is not honest. This is lazy. In fact, this is the worst Johnny Depp impression I've seen since Epic Movie, which is what you're basically becoming. You're just like, let's recreate things. Whatever's in the news, we'll recreate them half-assed, and yeah, that'll be funny. That's what this was last night on Saturday Night Live. I'm ashamed. So many opportunities to really make joke. How is TikTok doing better than you guys? How did you decide, okay, we're going to be a week late on this topic, but let's do it after all. But let's not put a single funny joke on it. Let's just do a bunch of old poop jokes. Yeah, and then we'll just call John. Well, but be careful. Be careful. We don't want to offend Amber. We don't want to look like we were wrong. So we'll just call Johnny a nightmare at the end. And then he'll be like, yep, I am a total nightmare. This is so offensive to Johnny Depp. It's not even funny. At this point, you should have just not done it because you didn't have the guts to do it right. And that's why Saturday Night Live to me is so unfortunate. There are times it's funny. I mean, go watch the I Got a Robe sketch with Kristen Wiig a couple Christmases ago. Brilliant. When they're on, they're on. And sometimes they can still get one out there that's really funny. I really like the what are they called? The writers' room sketches on Saturday Night Live. The new writers. I don't know their names. I'm forgetting their total names, but those guys are funny. I'm trying to find it quickly before I wrap it up. You know what I'm talking about. Where is it? They're not even in. They weren't here last week. Please don't destroy us. I like those guys. They're funny. They're taking chances. They're being absurd. When they take original ideas and they do something like that, there's once in a while the show can be very funny. I like their Black Eyed Peas sketch with Lizzo a couple weeks ago. That was funny. So look, Saturday Night Live can be absolute trash. It's true. Sometimes they will peek through and find something amusing, but I can't stand it when they're not honest. And I'm curious what you guys thought. If you want to watch the sketch, you can. It's not funny. They really. How do you not do a Rottenborn Elaine character? How did the cast be like, dude? How did they not do Mikey Day? How are you not? Look, I gotta play Rottenborn. Can I please be Rottenborn? I'm just so disappointed in them. I'm so disappointed, and I'm so disappointed that they did this cop-out to disrespect Johnny at the very end. Meanwhile, Chris Rock, bravo. Chris Rock, you still got guts. I still got your back. I can't wait till you finally talk about that slap. We're waiting for you. Take your time, my man. Bravo. Let's give Chris Rock all the props and Saturday Night Live. Boo on you. Huge missed opportunity. If you like these sort of breakdowns, hit subscribe, hit the bell for alerts, smash that like button, and leave a comment down below on your thoughts. Am I crazy? Did you watch it? Did you actually find it funny? I want to hear your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear them. We'll be back live this week when the trial starts again. Woo! Lots more coming, so you're not going to miss it. Subscribe. You can watch the trial on Hugging the Cactus on YouTube.